All right, everybody, man, back with the crypto rundown. Bryce, Pizza Mind, got some main contributors here as well, the Brendans. But no, I'm excited for this week because last week was what I call the craziest week of my crypto career, my crypto existence. Pizza Mind, I dodged some bullets. I felt like Neo in the Matrix, just watching my life flash before my eyes, and here I am, standing alive. A lot of people didn't make it out of FTX alive, which is really sad. It's a scary time, and man, I think we were just kind of talking about before we hit record about Solana. Like, does Solana even have a future after Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the largest proponent of Solana, is now practically Bernie Madoff 2.0?
Yeah, well, was just at Solana Breakpoint, which is the most hilariously ironic name now for a conference. But Literally. I don't think this is actually going to be the end of Solana. There's a lot more than SBF and FTX ventures that are backing this. There's a lot more passion from a lot more developers that really believe in this technology. The question is, do any of them still have funding? Because some of the terms of these investments that they had to keep their funds on FTX.
Yeah, like the new projects that were incubated by Alameda Research and FTX and stuff.
Yeah.
You're saying that those projects had to keep their treasuries on FTX. And that's what I heard as well. So that could mean a death spiral in a lot of those Solana projects. So I think that ecosystem, I think that entire ecosystem should generally be avoided. Now, of course, we're just a bunch of random guys off the internet. This is not investment advice. We are not financial advisors. We're just kind of saying what we think is a little bit of the way of the future. But what I'm scared about is not just the Solana ecosystem, which could kind of be a contained, toxic sort of environment. I'm scared about another Bitcoin. I'm scared about another BitBoy prophecy coming true. Now, just days before the FTX collapse, days before, BitBoy goes on this rant about the devil incarnate living in the flesh of two human beings, one being Sam Bankman-Fried, the other, Brian Armstrong, CEO and founder of Coinbase, who I happen to be an admirer of. I like the guy. I like the project that he's built. I hope I'm not cursing it, but if BitBoy was right about SBF, is he going to be right about the beloved Brian Armstrong from Coinbase?
Well, I've cleared off my background, and we're going to be putting up a BitBoy bingo card, and we're going to see what of his predictions come true over the rest of the year. God, I hope Coinbase ends up being okay.
Good graces of BitBoy. We're a pro BitBoy now.
Hey, the good guys got to gather together. We can't have silly little infighting about things that don't matter. What does matter is pushing DeFi forward, pushing finance forward,
and keeping customer funds safe, right? So that we have a place to shepherd everything.
Yes.
Right. At the end of the day,
that's right.
Coinbase is, supposedly legit. We always tell everybody cold storage, hardware wallets, not your keys, not your coins. Take them off into your devices. Use the best safety software. But at the end of the day, people need exchanges to go in between bank accounts, to go in between coins. Is nowhere safe.
Well,
Brendan, what do you think?
Well, in the wake of this, we have to understand who Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX had ties with, right? He had ties with a lot of politicians, a lot of really large investors, people like Kevin O'Leary. And Kevin O'Leary just came out and kind of talked about it all. He said, hey, my entire investment in FTX has gone to zero. And me and many other people in my same boat who have this kind of relationship with FTX and have this kind of exposure, we will not be investing in crypto until this gets regulated, and the time is now. And so in this recent interview that he was talking about, he said that him and a bunch of other individuals are going to fly to DC and demand regulation from the SEC in a new way. And they said it's not going to happen like a year from now. They want it now, and they want to see this so that this never happens again. And so that kind of raises the question, Sam Bankman-Fried had the relationship with all of these,
he spent all of his customer funds on lobbying the Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, it's the people that he screwed over here are the powerful people. And it creates this imbalance, and it's like, what's going to happen with regulation next? Because he kind of pissed off the wrong people.
Yeah, no, I heard, and I don't know if it's accurate, but I heard the average customer balance of FTX was something like $600,000. Is that right? I mean, that's a huge average account balance, if that's true.
It probably I don't know. Is, because that was really the institutional exchange. Like, there were some retail guys on there, but
I mean, we've already seen posts of every, not every, but several different crypto hedge funds blowing up amongst this. This is crazy. People on Twitter saying, "Hey, my fund got blown up on this."
FTX was the very first exposure for many of the world's largest institutions into crypto, including BlackRock. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Now, if regulations are coming, just let them make sense. Like having to show proof of reserves, proof of liabilities, even if it's monthly or quarterly audits that have to be made public, that's fine. Just don't pass rules that don't make sense or hamper the industry because you're now under pressure to just do something. The worst thing you can do is just do something for the sake of doing something to get people off your back. But people have gone to DC many times before and said, let's work together to make rules that make sense. And the SEC has plainly said no. Hester Pierce came on a couple days ago and made a video saying that they dropped the ball on this because there's many players that have come from the industry trying to work with them, and they've just flat out refused. And instead gone after people like Kim Kardashian for costing people money. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Like, this is the U.S. regulatory government body that is supposed to now protect Kevin O'Leary? Get the fuck out of here. I have no faith in that. So CZ today, who also doesn't have faith in this, nor should he, says we as an industry need to come together and form a governing body that's going to pass standards that we're going to hold ourselves to, whether they're legally enforceable or not. We're going to say what works, and we're going to share it with everyone else so this kind of crap doesn't happen again. And he's going to even bring in like other third-party organizations that have done this for other industries in the world. So great, fantastic. And it's open for all the big players to join. So this leads me to the next question, because I've been listening to Twitter Spaces for like 50 hours over this past weekend. And no one's willing to name names that we still need to get rid of out of this industry. Because let me pose you this, guys. Let's say FTX did get bailed out of their $9 billion hole. And it was still uncovered that they did all this fraud and all this mismanagement and all this insider trading and all the horrible things they've done, but they were still able to cover customer deposits. Would they still be in business today, and would people still be doing business with them?
No, you can't. They've muddied their name. They've muddied their name. The name FTX will go down in infamy. I don't think that they could ever recover. I mean, that's so.
It defies logic, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's the easiest answer I've ever had to answer. Like, come on. At the end of the day, who would ever trust the exchange?
Let me play devil's advocate with you. Let me play devil's advocate with you, because there's plenty of good guys who have been in this industry for a decade now, whose names and reputations stand above all else. And there's plenty of guys who have been in this industry for almost a decade whose reputations are horrible and deplorable, and yet they're still here. And they're still here. TiVo, pull up CoinGecko. Let's go through some of these tokens that are still around, that still have billion-dollar market caps. Let's go through some of these exchanges that we know are bullshit. It's time to call out names of who we need to get rid of in this industry before we can really, really go forward. And I hope regulators are watching this.
Nobody wants to be on Pizza Mind's shit list, I'll tell you that.
No, you shouldn't be. Because I'm a very forgiving kind of person. You have to really fuck up to get on my shit list. For example, I'm not even going to mention Tether. We're giving them the pass. Moving on. Number 7, XRP, the native token of the XRPL ledger, not of Ripple, of XRPL, which is fucking useless and almost nothing is built on it. $17 billion market cap. Boo. Send that shit to zero. Dogecoin is really the 8th most amazing productive thing that this industry has made. Get the fuck out of here. That's absolutely ridiculous. Continuing down the list, same thing with Shiba. Absolute garbage. OKB.
You're giving Cardano a pass?
Giving Cardano a pass. They're really trying to build something of value, and that takes time. That's fine.
They're trying to be more dev friendly. That was the big thing, is that developers didn't want to go to them because it was too much of a hassle. But at least they're trying.
A Haskell, even.
Yeah.
A Haskell. Yeah. Giving Cardano a pass for now.
Okay.
We're just gonna say the obvious shit. Like, we can still succeed as an industry with Cardano.
Like, don't 20% of Crypto.com's customers own Shiba Inu or something like that?
They do.
Yeah.
Shiba has been the biggest gateway drug into crypto. So
I don't know how these things catch fire.
They have more SHIB than they do Ethereum.
That's just so disappointing.
Well, hey, that tells me that they're honest about their reporting, at least. Maybe. OKB, the native exchange token of OKX, I think.
No, don't skip over Solana. Don't skip over Solana.
Ridiculous.
That thing.
We'll have to see about Solana.
It's a hot button issue right now.
Solana doesn't need to go to zero for us to succeed.
I don't know.
It may go to zero anyway.
I think it's a loaded radioactive bomb. Solana.
Bryce, what has more staying power over the next month, Doge or Solana?
Doge. A million times over. Unfortunately, Solana's biggest supporter and largest advocate was Sam Bankman-Fried, who is now this decade's financial criminal. I mean, this is bonkers to think that Solana could bounce back as quickly. I mean, it was one of the most collateralized assets by Alameda, and so there's going to be forced selling after forced selling. It breaks my heart.
Even bigger.
It breaks my heart because they had legit technology. They had legit technology. Anatoly Yakovenko and Raj, like they're good actors in the space. I think that they might have gotten conned a little bit by SBF and having a lot of his support and FTX's support and all the FTX projects that were kind of in Solana projects that were locked up on FTX that are now the treasuries are blown up.
See, it's a tragedy. I'm rooting for those guys.
Horrible. I'm rooting for them. You were just at Solana Breakpoint. You came back. You were so excited. Yeah. There's a million of brilliant things, and then this shitstorm comes and kicks the industry in the dick, and now we're here.
Yeah.
At least Doge still has their biggest advocate, right? Doge's biggest advocate is Elon, and at least they have an advocate now. Whereas if you look at Solana, their biggest advocate was Sam Bankman-Fried.
I guess the jury's still out on Elon, though. I mean, the jury's still out. He buys Twitter.
Do you need a massive advocate in order to be successful in this industry? I mean, Cardano has Charles.
Hey, Satoshi Nakamoto. Boom, right?
Tron
He's gone.
Has Justin Sun.
He's quiet.
Litecoin has Johnny Kim.
I mean, would you say that Bitcoin's biggest advocate is Michael Saylor?
Oh, God.
Is that arguable?
I don't know. I think Bitcoin got it right because they said, hey, the founder and the team, we're all going to remain anonymous, all that kind of stuff.
Hey, isn't Michael Saylor's entire Bitcoin holdings in Bitcoin futures anyway? Like, does he actually hold all the spot Bitcoin? No.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I
heard that they bought
if I have to say,
I remember he was running a TWAP on Coinbase like 2 years ago. I mean, of course he owns spot.
I don't know. We're getting off topic here. Who's next are we cutting over here?
Tron.
We're definitely got to cut Justin Sun for all the Tron, the Just Coin, the Sun Coin, the Poloniex exchange. Justin Sun is personally who I blame for the collapse of Luna. Hopefully evidence will come out to support that at some point.
Apparently it was SBF.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they're in collusion.
Yeah, Three Arrows Capital came out of the woodwork now that Sam Bankman-Fried collapsed and all this kind of stuff. They came out and are saying hey, Sam was responsible for our collapse.
All of a sudden they're honest now, right? Let's believe them.
Yeah.
All right. Avalanche, guilty of corporate espionage. Fuck those guys.
Wait,
get out. Oh yeah, they were doing corporate espionage on Binance and Coinbase and literally everyone else in the space to steal secrets.
Oh, I remember that one crooked lawyer. Yeah. They came out with a video or something. Yeah, I remember.
Let's see. Ton, the open network. You're telling me that's ranked 26? $2.5 billion in value over there?
That's ranked 26. What the hell?
I don't understand that one. I'm going to go with no.
Mind-boggling.
I'm going to go with no on that. Let's keep on going down. Sorry, Roger, we really don't need Bitcoin Cash.
Nope, don't need it.
I saw that it might be legal tender in St. Kitts and Nevis by next year, but we really don't need it. Continuing down the list, we got some promising stuff over here. We're seeing lots of good value.
Stellar Lumens
Quant
and
and
Chronos are all these are
yeah,
trash.
we don't need those guys.
Stellar
We
Lumen, don't need it.
Filecoin's good. Frax is really good. Excited about what's being built over there. Luna Classic, no.
Nope.
We can just get rid of it. Let's see. Hedera is interesting. I met with Dominic again from Internet Computer. They're finally starting to make some good progress over there. Elrond just did their rebranding, and I have one of those cool Multiverse X hats. So they get a pass from me for at least another year. Chili's is doing interesting stuff. EOS, it's time to die. Goodbye.
Time to die, EOS.
I don't know why Trust Wallet has a token. Do you?
I don't know why either, and it's always kind of sketched me out.
Yeah,
but
Tezos.
If you look at that chart over there on Trust Wallet compared to everything else right now, so it's up 91% in the past 7 days.
What the
because
hell?
It's a Binance project, maybe.
Yeah, well, speaking of Binance projects, the Sandbox absolutely crushing it in terms of value that they're building. Maybe not so much in price. Really, really high on the Sandbox. ApeCoin, that needs to go to zero for sure. Needs to go to zero twice. Get rid of ApeCoin. We got some more stable coins and other stuff going on over here. That's great. Bitcoin SV, get the fuck out of here. Anything associated with Bitcoin SV, any exchanges that list Bitcoin SV, just get rid of them altogether. I don't even know what tokenized exchange is. That's garbage.
No.
USDD is Justin Sun stablecoin. No, get rid of Whitebit. Get rid of BitTorrent. Get rid of Huobi. Look at that. Poor little Maker is down at 65.
I like
this
Maker.
Should be a top 10 token. This should be a top 10 token, and it's over here at 65 because of all the other garbage ahead of it.
Value, baby. I spot value.
That's right.
Not financial advice.
Value.
Full disclosure.
That's
I have
value
exposure.
right there. BTSE token, garbage. eCash, garbage. Clayton's, I guess, for games. Osmosis is good. Don't really use Gate.io. They're kind of on the fence with me. Aptos, garbage.
Lost
Send that shit to zero.
I heard they lost a bunch of money in the FTX thing.
They had exposure to Sam Bankman-Fried for sure.
Oh, absolutely they did. I saw Mo in London actually. Shit. I couldn't miss his free flowing silver hair.
Yeah,
we went to the same steakhouse.
Cool. Wow, love that.
Zcash is good. I forget what Radix is, so I'm not going to comment. Neo doesn't need to be here.
No.
The Graph, awesome. That should be in the top 20 someday.
Yeah, I like the Graph.
Phantom Arweave. We got some compound tokens over there. That's cool. Tether Gold. EVMOS is pretty high on the list of a lot of people in Cosmos. Not for me, though.
Ethereum proof of work should be at zero, negative zero.
Yeah, send that shit to zero. Ethereum Classic is Ethereum proof of work. We don't need two.
Yeah, why have both?
One's fine. Synthetic's good. Nexo actually does something. Mina's interesting. Curve's awesome. Dash is amazing. Thorchain we're big on.
You think Dash is amazing still?
For what it's actually doing. Like for price action is piss poor. But for people in South America that don't have smartphones, you can actually transact crypto on a regular old SMS device through Dash. So they've actually built real world value that people are using, not just speculating on. So for that,
I like Thorchain.
Dash has my respect.
I like Thorchain generally. There's some things about it that I'd like to change, but Thorchain seems pretty cool.
But these guys and DYDX could both be big winners of this. And look at GMX over here. This exchange has come out of nowhere this year, and it's already in the top 100. So congrats on them. They've already 10x'd this year.
And I like ENS, Ethereum Name Service.
Yep.
Right there.
BitDAO, that's not necessary to exist.
Nope.
All right, so that's basically our top 100. Let's go look at exchanges. Let's go back up to the top of the page and go over to the exchanges.
Peace of mind is going in.
When you stab, you just don't want to stop.
Kill shot after kill shot.
We're going to
do it.
This, man.
We're going to have to talk about crypto.com. Once we get to it, we don't want to rush it, but man, what a giant mess up on their end this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One after the other. So Coinbase, again, please be good. I don't want Coinbase to go down, even though it does all the time. OKX doesn't need to be here. Bybit doesn't need to be here. These are just shitcoin Asian exchanges that are trading against their customers and fleecing them. Gambling casinos, if you will. Big fan of KuCoin, though. I want them to be doing good. Kraken, same thing. Jesse
Big
Powell.
fan.
Maybe he should, like, if I had to pick one guy in the space to be the spokesman, I think I would vote for Jesse Powell.
He's a good guy. Yeah, I think he did
exist.
step down. He'd stepped down as CEO, I believe, but I think he's still on the board.
He did. You're right. He needed more time for Twitter Spaces.
Nice.
Well, if we're going to have Tether, we have to have Bitfinex. I would like to see some truth actually get settled in this case, because this is really the big elephant in the room. Bitfinex and Tether. Tether's been backed by a whole bunch of other things besides cash, so that's where a lot of the concern comes in. There's a lot of other rumors about what Bitfinex has done in the past, but because they have such a huge spotlight on them, I don't think that they're bad actors. We've had Paolo Arduino on the show before. But again, these are one of these guys that have been around this space forever. So whether they're going to be good actors or bad actors, they need to pick a side and stick with it. And I'd like to believe that currently they're on the side of good. But there's many others that will probably comment below that will vehemently disagree. And they have every right to do so. Binance US doesn't need to be here. Just bring back normal Binance. Binance US is a piece of shit that can't even keep a CEO. So they need to go. Gemini's been great. Binance itself is probably my favorite exchange that I can't use anymore. But, I mean, that for better or for worse, that was one of the biggest hubs of crypto along with Coinbase.
Yeah.
Gate.io, questionable. BitGet,
questionable.
Also questionable. Crypto.com. Brendan, what's going on with Crypto.com?
Well, they've shot themselves in the foot multiple times. So it started out after FTX imploded. They said, hey, we're going to halt Solana, USDC, USDT, a couple of assets. Wasn't a big deal, but it was enough to spook people. So in their response, they were saying, hey guys, we're going to release a proof of audit or a proof of reserves showing that we actually have the money that we say that we have. And in this proof of reserves, they showed that they had more Shiba Inu than they did Ethereum, USDC, USDT, and any other asset with the exception of Bitcoin. So that spooked people out. And they said, hey, do we really want to have our money with someone like this? And so what they did next is they started trying to move around funds. And they accidentally sent 82% of their Ethereum reserves to the wrong address. This was 320,000 Ethereum worth roughly $400 million, and they accidentally sent it to the wrong address. And everyone freaked out. So their CEO came out and said, hey, yeah, we accidentally sent this to the wrong address. Luckily, it was a Gate.io address. We got a hold of them, and they're going to be nice guys and send it back to us. But after that happened,
so sketch.
Everyone lost faith. They say, how do you accidentally misplace 320,000 Ethereum? Like, if that would have been anyone else, then the odds are they would have never gotten it back, and that would have been a detrimental hit to their exchange and all the investors. They would have definitely started halting more withdrawals if they didn't get that money back, right?
Yeah. And then they came out and changed their story, and they said, oh, it was our corporate account at Gate.io that we actually sent it to. So there's some lies going on here, but either way, Bryce, you and I both deal in institutional grade custody services. We know how these backends work. And in fact, someone from Crypto.com who's familiar with the actual system came on Mario's Twitter Spaces earlier this week and said, yeah, it's literally impossible to send something to the wrong address unless you literally have like 5 to 7 people just completely glossing over these secondary approvals.
So kind of crazy. I don't know how they generate it, and it's all BS. But Anyhow,
of everything we're looking at on this entire page, like Binance is probably legit, Bitstamp is probably legit,
Bitfinex is legit, Kraken,
Gemini's legit, but everything else that I'm even looking at on this page is horse shit. That's what, 4 out of 30?
Yeah,
practically.
That are actually legitimate? That needs to change if we're going to go forward.
All the big ones that are bullshit, like obviously FTX, Crypto.com in question, those are all the biggest ones that advertise, right? It's like the arenas are getting pulled. Like Crypto.com's on CNBC, sponsors the ticker. They're on the floor at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Like, it's quite alarming that, and you barely see a Coinbase ad. I mean, you see a couple, but you don't see Kraken or Gemini, the ones you guys are saying that you like. I find that interesting.
I mean, you'd expect.
Crypto.com does make money because they trade on a large spread and they have, while they say 0 fees, they're actually trading a really huge spread against spot price. Yeah. So they do generate a lot of money that way. I don't know what kind of deal they have for credit card fees, but it seems to me like this has been one company that was never concerned about profit. It was just about user acquisition and brand awareness for a big sale and exit later. And if that's what their strategy is, that's perfectly fine. And the fact that they're willing to show that 20% of their holdings are in Shiba, it actually sounds truthful to me. Because that's the kind of people that use Crypto.com. They're there for the first time, and Shiba is like their gateway drug into crypto. But there's still a lot of sketchiness going on around there. And we know that because anyone who's not sketchy in this space comes on our podcast. And they talk to us, and they're open. And we have great conversations on and off the record. And Chris Marszalek has been one guy who's even forbid his people from coming on our podcast the same day of, just canceling it for no reason. So he definitely is acting as if he has something to hide. And it's been this way since 2018 when we met in Singapore, that he has been acting really shady, which is really, really weird. So because no one else has acted like this, with the exception of Sam Bankman-Fried, who I met at Bitcoin 2021. And I approached him and he asked me to go away because he was in some kind of meeting, even though it was in like this public whale room. But okay, sure, they're in a meeting, fine. No problem, I don't mean to interrupt. But usually people like that would say like, let's chat later or whatever it is. But he wanted nothing to do with us or me or anything. Why is that? Why are people who want to get exposure, like the good ones, because they want to grow their projects, and the people that don't want media exposure is because they're trying to hide something?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Crazy. No, I know he was going around DC talking with regulators, and I just saw something on Elon Musk's Twitter. He says, one of the questions we should be asking is for if Sam Bankman-Fried was funneling money to the Democratic Party and the World Economic Forum, and it was a big money laundering scheme. So I don't know. There might be something more nefarious, but we'll talk about that next week and much more. The Crypto Rundown. Guys, thanks for joining us.